From the heart of Houston, it's fun, it's engaging, it's Chattin' with Chelsea. She's daytime's new bestie. Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards.
Come back to me. I've got the feeling. Come back.
Hey, besties. Welcome to another episode of Chattin' with Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards. Parents and grandparents, this one is for you. We have got some fun summer activities to keep your little ones engaged and learning. All right, you get a twofer with this one. Plus, we've got some ways to make those boring routines into things that they will actually enjoy. So we've got you covered. Speaking of summer, I actually made a little bucket list for me and my 4-year-old. I wanted to do some things that would be fun, but, you know, not break the bank. We're always looking for things to do as parents during the summer. So one of the things on the list was to visit family in Dallas, in which we recently did. And I love a road trip, but what I do not love are those public restrooms, those gas station stops, right? So I plan everything accordingly, making sure that we stop at the best places that are clean, got plenty of snacks, and that is what we did. We made an excellent stop. And then 10 minutes later, my 4-year-old says he has to use the restroom again. So we got to stop at one of these shady, questionable stops off the freeway. We go in and he is taking his sweet time. Mom and daughter come in. It's only 2 stalls. They get in the stall next to us. And my 4-year-old is very confident and he overshares his bodily functions and everything with them. So we're laughing. The mom is very sweet. She says, "Great job," right? And as they're exiting their stall, my 4-year-old yells out, "Wash your hands," like a health inspector. So they did. They looked a little shook, but they made sure they washed their hands. I was actually a little bit proud. He's like a hallway monitor. So we are making memories this summer. But let's get you to those activities that are going to help keep those little ones engaged, you know, as easy as washing your hands, right? So we've got Salma from Celebree School in Katy.
Yes.
All right, so why is it important to come up with things to do?
Well, we're in the full swing of things this summer, and it's so incredibly important because you lose that structure and that routine during the summer that you have during the school year.
Right.
And you don't want the kids to, you know, get that loss of information and regress back. So we want to keep them busy. It's especially important for those young ones and those fine motor skills. And so you'll see that all of our activities that we do today really concentrate on that fine motor skills especially, but you'll also see that we incorporate some fun and learning because we do at Celebree School, we do play-based learning, which is when you're excited and when you have that passion about what's at hand, that is when all of that information is really going to sink in deep for those kids, and that's what we want.
That is possible during the summer, right? So what age groups are these activities good for?
So we at Celebree, we offer our services to children 6 weeks old all the way to 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
And then we extend in nationally to programs for before and after care and summer camps. These things specifically can be catered to all ages, as young as a little bit of the older infants who can sit up and engage with play, as well as all the way up to, you know, those preschool ages.
Nice. All right. Well, let's get into it. What's our first activity?
So first, this is our Splash and Explore water sensory bin. So what we have is we've got some water in here, we've added some food coloring, and that's one of the things that at every level of this play, you can incorporate some type of learning. So first, we've done the basic blue for water,
All right, I like that.
But then what you can do is you can go ahead and do different things like add different food dyes, mix the colors, talk about that art, and talk about those color mixings and see what that is. Then you can go, absolutely, we can go and work on those fine motor skills, and we can do a little splish splash and see what goes on there.
Cute.
Yes.
Cute.
We have some plastic toys at the bottom that you can use things like scoops to kind of scoop scoop and see what you can get your hands at.
Nice.
And work on that hand-eye coordination as well.
Okay, is that what this is for as well?
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
Scooping.
Okay. And you're going ahead and use these droppers to see what you can do. And using household items like sponges or pool noodles or plastic toys, rubber balls, whatever you can find. This is very easy, just coming up with a bin, adding the water, using household items to keep your littles busy.
Okay, so you can make it as challenging or as easy as you like.
Absolutely.
Easy peasy. Okay.
For the older kids, you can actually talk about, sinking versus floating, and then go into that STEM bit over there as well. So, like I said, it's depending on how old your child is, what's appropriate for them, and just what they're interested in.
Okay, those are some good questions to ask, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that. All right, what's your next one?
Our next one is this bubble science station. So over here we have some DIY bubble solution that we have made from dish soap and water, just a little bit. It's on the thicker side. And then we have our pre-made solution here. You can make DIY wands. So one of the things that's very simple is we have these pipe cleaners. Would you like to make your own?
I would.
Absolutely.
How would you know?
Which one would you like?
I mean, we're all about purple here. Let's go ahead and do that one. Okay.
Absolutely. And actually what you can do to customize this is if you have beads with names, you can actually put the name of yourself, put words on there, practice your letters, practice your shapes.
Oh, cute.
Absolutely.
Okay, do these actually work?
Yes, let's see. We can try it. You want to try?
Yes, I would like to.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to practice my bubble making, but very cool.
Thank
Guess
you.
I got some work to do.
This one is actually a lot of fun. This solution being thicker, we're going to move this a little forward and move this back. You're supposed to blow in it, let that sink in. Again, this is just a bottle that you cut. You take the cap off, take a rubber band and with some paper towels, and let's see if this works out.
Okay, all right. I'm going to trust your skills more than mine at this point.
Let's see. Sometimes, again, it's an experiment, right?
Yeah.
What went wrong and what went right.
Oh, and that's good for the older kids. Give me a hypothesis and all that. Oh, wow.
There you go.
Nice.
And then you can actually add food dye to this as well and make it a rainbow bubble station.
Very cool.
Yes.
I love this. And so simple, cost effective. You're hitting all the targets here.
Absolutely. So this is another wand.
Okay.
And we've got a pool noodle that we've cut and added straws in here just to see, does it come out with more bubbles, bigger bubbles, smaller bubbles? So again, and then this is another type, household items, straws, chopsticks, a little yarn, dip it in and then just wave it around.
Okay, that makes a ginormous bubble.
Yes,
looks like.
absolutely. This would require more of a bucket, which I didn't think would be okay to bring on just now.
It's
but
fine.
stick it in there and wave it around. Just so many uses for the pool noodle, right?
Nice. Okay, or you could have brought the bucket. We get dirty here. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. I know you have some more
Absolutely.
activities for us. So we'll be right back after this. I promised you 4 activities that you could do with the little ones this summer, keep them engaged in learning. And we got 2 more to go.
Absolutely.
All right, Selma, what's our next one?
Our next one is rock painting. So you guys can go explore outside, pick up some rocks, and then you can do rock painting for animals. And so as you can see, we've done a couple of over here. We've got a snail, an owl, a penguin. We can go ahead and you can take acrylic paint and kind of paint, or you can take markers, whichever is easiest for you. And then take the learning a little further and make stories. So if you have a penguin and I have a dog, well, how do they meet up? Where do they meet up? What are they up to this summer?
Oh, that's great. Now we have a whole children's book out of this.
Absolutely.
I mean, where are you finding these great rocks, though? Because these are perfect for drawing.
Well, in the park you can go, but you can also get them at your local stores and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
But going out, finding that perfect rock is part of the fun, right? Going out, because we want the children to be out. We want them away from those screens, right?
Yes, please. Okay. I feel like you can do this with older kids as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, we just needed a chattin' with Chelsea rock right there. Okay.
Love it.
All right. So that can actually last all day, too, I'm thinking, like a full activity.
Absolutely. You can
write a
go
book and everything.
Absolutely. Go into drawing places, go into writing things, introduce a different location, introduce a new thing that they have to deal with or an emotion that they have to deal with, right? Absolutely.
Okay, I like where you're going with that. We're also
Yes.
building that emotional intelligence.
Absolutely, and that's what we do. Conscious discipline is a really core part of Celebree, and we love to incorporate it in all of our programs, starting from infant and up, because we really believe in that, developing that EQ for that child.
Okay, so you said conscious discipline. Give me a little more about that.
Absolutely. So it's so important. Everybody concentrates on the academics, as do we. Kindergarten readiness is so important, right? By the time that your child is ready for kindergarten, we want the teacher to be like, oh my goodness, they're ready, they know what's up. But a big part of that is that social and emotional development. And so learning to self-regulate those emotions, learning to put a name to those emotions, learning to be able to say, hey, you know what, I'm not feeling good right now, I need to step away from this. We go ahead, and that's inbuilt in our curriculum. And so again, and it's actually an EQ is a better indicator of success in the long run for your child than IQ is.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Okay, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that we're hitting both, though,
Yes.
with these activities. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what's your next one?
Our final one is our paper plate sun catcher. And so
Cute.
I have a little bit one of a pre-made. What you do is you take a paper plate, yours is right there.
Okay.
You add in some of heavy duty tape or clear contact paper, and you can experiment with different things like cut up tissue paper and make your own design over there. And then you can
Oh.
take flower petals like this one has, and you can create animals like the fish over here or the jellyfish that we have over here. And then you go outside, you hold it up to the sun, and you can talk about opacity as well as transparency. You can talk about shadows. You can talk about the colors that you used and what you liked about it.
Should my
Yeah.
4-year-old be able to say opacity?
You know what? You can talk about things being see-through or not.
I like that. I mean, I love a challenge, though.
Yeah,
We can definitely do
Well,
that.
And see, this is where it's so important, because when you're doing this, the children learn through modeling. And when you do this, that's when you're modeling that vocabulary for them, and that's where you get that your child in kindergarten saying things like opacity and transparency to their teacher.
Oh, that'll impress the kindergarten teacher.
Absolutely.
Opacity. Okay. I love it. All right, so this can typically last, how long would you say this activity?
It can last, depending on how many you want to make, if you want to experiment with something like this, you can do it over and over again. So if you do this, one day a simple circle, the next day it can become a sun, the next day it can become a boat. One day you can use flower petals, one day you can use tissue paper, one day you can use foil and see that it's reflection and it's not anything that's transparent at all. So it just depends on your creativity, and if your child really likes this activity, it's about learning how to manipulate the different facets of it to be able to make it interesting for them.
Would you adjust this at all for older kids? Like, I really want to do this. I have a 4-year-old, but, you know, I also have a teen that I want to entertain.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do all types of things. For them, you can use more intricate things, like, for example, their cellophane paper, right? So cellophane paper and kind of giving it that stained glass look when it reflects in the sun and things like that.
Nice.
And so just getting a more intricate design on there, maybe challenge them not just to do this, but make a more challenging design where they use lots of different cuts and they're stenciling things out and using different colors for that. So it can be adjustable to any age.
I love a family activity.
Absolutely.
The teen might still give you a hard time, but once they get into it, they're going to love it. Oh,
Competition is always lots of fun.
this is so great. Thank you so much for the wonderful ideas.
Absolutely.
I'm going to work on this a little bit more. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with those ideas for how to make those routines a good time. This is
I've got the feeling. Come back to me.
Our next guest says we can make routines like bath time adventurous. Welcome, Lynsey Martin.
Thank you very
Kids
much
book
for having me
author.
here.
Yes, love to have you. I love this. How to get an alligator out of the bathtub.
Yes.
My son loves gators right now. We're in a gator phase. So perfect. Yeah, tell me what inspired you to write this book.
Yes, well, How to Get an Alligator Out of the Bathtub was inspired by my two boys, and we were on a little adventure to the Austin Zoo. for many, many times one summer. It was about 2 summers ago, and they kept begging me to bring the alligators home with us. And after probably the 4th time we were there and asking me again, I finally was like, oh, well, yes, okay, what if we brought the alligators home? Well, where would they stay? The sink's too little. Maybe we don't have a pool. And they were like, well, they could stay at the community pool. I'm like, maybe they could. But then I thought, well, if they're in our house, they'd have to be in the bathtub. And so that's how the story came about.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. Boy, Mom, you know how things go. You also have a 4-year-old as well.
I do,
Okay,
yes.
so you got your hands full. And oftentimes, especially the little ones, they just don't want to do the things that they're supposed to do.
Correct.
So what are some ways that we can make these routines like adventurous or
Yes.
something they're into?
Absolutely. One idea that I use with my boys and I just love is with a routine, for example, you want to use things around the house. So cleanup. Cleanup is always something. You can sing a song and things like that, but make it silly and an adventure. So one idea I love is having them pretend they're pirates. And we, our toy chest, becomes our pirate chest, but it's empty. So we need to go find our buried treasure, and you're gathering your toys, and sometimes I have them, who can find the most buried treasure and put it in their treasure chest and things like that.
I love this.
You want to make it more of an adventure because the sillier and more fun, the more they're going to want to do it.
Okay, how often do you throw that in there?
Yes, you definitely want to throw in the voices and all the pirate songs if you have a pirate hat, or even just let them, pretend with things. Just kind of making things fun and silly like that. Another option is always, for my little one who's 4, dishes might be a little tricky, but you want to kind of get them going with household chores throughout and make it fun. And so for my oldest and my youngest, you can use a colander, like a pasta colander, and have them, my little one I use to put soap suds and everything, and you find what you find in the sink. Oh, I found forks, or I found spoons. And again, it's sort of that concept of making something that is a household chore where they can help and be involved, but making it fun and entertaining.
Was there a switch for you where you were trying just the traditional way before and then you tried the fun way and saw a difference?
Yeah, 100%. So I actually ended up volunteering, and I taught for a year at both my son's preschool. And so what I ended up doing when I was teaching and learning from all of the teachers, I saw these ways that they were kind of helping the kids along, and I read books and I took classes and courses. And all of these little ideas, you finally notice there's ways to tie in these fun little interactions. Same with brushing your teeth or getting dressed. A lot of times shoes can be a challenge, like kids don't want to put their shoes on. Well, what if your shoes were a time machine and it could take you somewhere? And so when you're heading out the door, you're generally putting your shoes on to go somewhere. So our time machine shoes are going to transport us to the car or the park or, wherever you're going. So having the opportunity to be around my class and all of these teachers and the courses I took, I definitely saw the difference between having it in an adult mind. You have these things you have to do every day.
Right.
But for children, the best way they learn is through play. It is.
Yeah.
And so incorporating these little fun ways of play into their daily routines really makes them want to do these without fighting you.
Okay, I'm taking all of the notes here. I love these ideas. All right, so for parents who feel like they lack in the imagination department, any recommendations to get that motor going?
Yes, honestly, simple is better. Little things like even for us in the morning or bedtime, doing little things like story time, but doing little things to change it up. Most children have stuffies, so just grab your stuffy or grab a lovey, have you or your child read the book to the lovey. Do little voices when you're reading the book to your child. When you're in the car or even at home, maybe you're going to bed, you can just do a dance party. I was gonna say, most people love to sing and dance, so you could just do little things like that. You don't have to be super creative or totally outside the box. It can be little tiny changes to a daily routine. Instead of walking to bed, maybe you could do the mambo to bed or something.
Hey,
you could do
okay, I love it.
just little ways to get kids to do those transitions, because really that's what it is. It's the transition into whatever you're trying to get them to do. You just want to make that sort of fun and entertaining.
Yeah, that's a great point. The transitions, that's really the sticking point.
Yes.
Like, okay, we're going from, you know, dinner to the tub.
Exactly.
And that could be a tough one in my house for some reason. So once he gets in the tub, he's having a great time.
Exactly.
But getting him there is the struggle.
That's where something like we're going to have a dance party to the tub, or again, little things, again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You could make it, maybe there's something they really love, a rubber ducky or something at the bottom of the tub, and you make it a game to have them try and find whatever it is in the bathtub. Is there, if you fill it up with bubbles, oh, what's at the bubble? What's in here? Is there buried treasure? Is there a dragon? Is there, oh, there's a unicorn in the bathtub. Something to spark their mind and make it more entertaining for them to want to find out what's in that tub.
I mean, you got me excited to find out what's in the tub. I'm going to definitely add some more bubbles to my shopping list as well.
Bubbles, lights. We love to do disco bathtubs in our house. So we have the little light up cubes that we throw in. Even glow sticks are really inexpensive. You just throw them in the tub, turn off the lights, and the kids think it's the most fun thing in the world. Everything's glowing and they love to sing songs, and it makes it really fun and entertaining.
I love this. Like, your house sounds like so much fun. Do you babysit as well?
I could, absolutely. I will babysit for you.
He would never want to come home. Like, y'all are having a blast over there. How long do you feel like these strategies last, or how long do you feel like you need to use them, or are you just adjusting as they get older?
You know, you get to adjust things, but I've even noticed, so going to bed, a big thing for us is the routine of, you know, you take your bath, we get into bed, we have story time, we do all the voices. Sometimes we do it in our tent, so we'll read our book in our tent before bed, but we always read our book and then you go to bed. What I've noticed with my older son, who's 8, at this point, he actually likes to read to my little ones. So sometimes we'll do joint book, we call it. And so then it really makes it engaging for both. My oldest wants to read to my youngest, and then my youngest thinks it's really cool because his brother's reading to him. And so we really make it more of a connected community, you know, all of the family putting everybody to bed, basically, even mom at that point.
Nice. That's me right here.
Yes.
Well, I can't wait to get this book next on my list, on my bedtime story list. You guys got to check out How to Get an Alligator Out of the Bathtub. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. I want to thank our guests, Lynsey Martin and the Celebree School. This was a great show, helping to make summer fun and keep our kids engaged. You guys follow us on social at Chelsea Show Fox. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next Chatting with Chelsea.